The year is 87039, new nonlinear time. It's been 50,000 years since Stephen Zapata's final art stream, but we still live in a golden age defined by the gifts his stream bestowed upon mankind. Faster than light travel, eternal life, Stephen cloning, and the keys to a truly galactic human civilization. My name is Stave Satapaz, a reminder clone of Stephen Zapata, an exact reproduction of his personality as constructed by an AI compiling millions of hours of his original art streams. By all accounts, I'm exactly like the original Stephen's public persona, just more muscular, exactly as he would have wanted. I travel the stars on my light tracer, a dream of Stephen. My crew is, of course, all clones of Stephen. Some of my officers are reminders like me, but not all. Some are bioclones, and yet others are aspectoids, clones who, instead of trying to capture his full essence, amplify a particular portion of the original Stephen's personality. We've spent hundreds of years drawing, exploring, and philosophizing while snaking our way through the stars, spreading the good word of design. But we've had another, secret mission as we've cruised the cosmos. I seek information on the legendary originals, Stephen Zapata's true drawings that he flung wide across the stars at the end of his life on Earth, never to be seen again. My crew thinks I'm looking for them for the same reason all the other madmen do, because they would be valuable beyond all reason. But they don't know what I know, that a critical mass of originals in the hands of a trained reminder can provide a psychic link to the original Stephen mind. Once I collect enough, I'll be able to fulfill my destiny and achieve psychological continuity with the original Stephen. And through me, he will live again to usher in golden ages of art forever. Drawing Ascendant, the eternal chronicles of Stephen Zapata. Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1.
Who's that, Stephen? It's Gamghoul, Stephen!
How you holding up out there, Stave? I'd say considering I'm fighting a Stephen who doesn't draw, I'm doing alright, really. Ha! Just try to keep everyone entertained while you try to keep your head. I need more time in Cathar Stephen's palace. I know the god Graphite is here. Somewhere in here. If I only knew where. Hey, no rush, man. I got this guy on the ropes. Trust me.
Yeah! Lucina Thunder, Dumeja Maito, Dunya, Nanyata Da Giata.
What? It's Incanthia, great sword of the Black Fountain. He really does have it.
Yeah! Nitroya, Nitsuyo Tufu, Gimya Tanta, Ata.
This is a dream of Stephen. Stave, are you there?
Stephen, you got to the ship. How do you get past the blockades?
Nothing the dream couldn't handle. But they're on me, and we're coming in hot. I'm gonna get you out of there. Do I have clearance to murder some citizen Stevens as I strafe the arena?
Soon, but not yet. Sturvin needs more time in the palace to find the god Graphite. If you attack now, all the guards watching my execution will rush back to the palace to secure Cathar Stephen. So give him the runaround until I get word from Sturvin. The god Graphite! Finally! Oh, it's beautiful! Well, yes. Come to Sturvin. Hold on. No need to rush there, little Stephen. You and I both know Stave wouldn't want you to get sloppy and spill any of that, would he?
Alright, that's quite enough messing around. It's time to draw. It's true. we have hit 100K. I want to thank everybody who helped me to reach this incredible number. And by everybody, I of course mean me. I mean, I did all the work. I mean, I'm the one who sits here every day drawing. I have yet to see evidence that any of you are drawing while you watch the stream. So as far as I can tell, it's just me doing everything around here. So big thanks to my boy SB, that's Stevie Boy, for doing everything that it took to reach 100K. All of you little liars in the chat claiming that you're working, claiming that you're drawing, please, for the love of God, do yourself a favor and be creative today. Let's actually get some drawings out, all right? Now I'm good. Thank you everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you everybody. Thank you Bluebeam, thank you Bilbo, thank you Beatrice, thank you Hainai, thank you Sansia, thank you Zavanarka. Thank you, Tali S, Anarud Bansal, Moises Navarro, Zane, Artist, Arctic Monkey, Soko, Krumps, Cursed, Fetus, Tu Vieja, Lalokin, Terry Fiati, Moon Guy, Edj, 4020, 424, Lucas Falls, Dota, Bros, LK, Bilbo, William, and anybody else who I might have missed. Thank you so much for the kind wishes. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope that somewhere out there you're hitting your 100K in your heart. Again, we're all very glad here. We're all very happy. I want to send you all many thanks. As a follow-through thanks, 10% off any version of Form from Imagination by using code 100K at checkout on formfromimagination.com for anybody who has been interested in checking out the course, and that coupon code will work for a week until from today to next Wednesday. You will be able to use it. After that, it has to only go to next Wednesday, because after that, it's officially time to leave Celebration behind. After that week, it's like we can't be lingering on 100K, to 60 million and beyond is where we go after that. It's time to focus our energies on other things. Steve, you stormtrooper. I don't know what that means. Naro says, big number. Wow, a large internet number. Can you believe it? My question is, why has YouTube not emailed me yet to send me my silver play button? What's going on here? Let's go, YouTube. Let's get that silver play button going. I think that's how it works. I don't know if any of y'all have an account with 100K, but maybe you can tell me. I think they email you, and then you have to send what address they're gonna send it to and all of this. But I have not received any emails or notifications from YouTube. Steven's still looking young and cute. Thank you, Sansia, but today I feel 100,000 years old. Every subscriber that I had to scrape from the algorithm added another year to my mental age. I will tell you what. It was not easy, when you refuse to play the clickbait game, when you refuse to just go lowest common denominator and follow trends and do what everybody else is doing, it is a little, it takes a bit. Every subscriber is really, is its own reward. Truly. Oh my God. Silver plate wishes and caviar dreams, my dude. I don't know what you mean by that, Joe, but I love you. So thank you for that. I'm assuming you're not insulting me. Gotta reset my hand to kid-like proportions. I used to draw so many kids for work. I used to draw a lot of real-world environments that people were supposed to go visit. And most of those are, you know, family friendly, so I always had to put tons of kids in the drawings. But I haven't done that in a long time. It's like a very specific proportion to hit. It'll come back though. Thank you, David Figs. I appreciate it. Steven, do you know Shinichi Sakamoto? I do not. I would consider him one of the greatest mangakas ever. His work is just gorgeous, definitely on his work on The Climber. I have not seen it, but I will make a tab to check it later. Drawing kids is cringe because kids are cringe. You know, I'm not gonna resist that. Might be true. Innocent is so good. Is that mangaka the same one who does Innocent? I thought when I looked in the tab real quick, the style reminded me of Innocent, which I also have not read. It's just Innocent is famous for its art, so I've seen the art. We're all forever cringe to some extent. Yeah, embrace the cringe. Embrace the cringe, my friends. As soon as you give up on thinking that you're supposed to be like a cool, non-cringe person, it really frees you. It really frees you. The assumption, the arrogant assumption that you're somehow supposed to be cool really holds so many people back. Steve, will this stream beat the 4-hour, 30-minute record? Congrats on the 100K milestone. I don't think that's the record. I think the longest stream is over. There's actually a few streams that are over 5 hours. There might be a 6-hour one. I'm going to lower my AC a bit. Is the humming from the AC too loud? Can you guys pick it up really clearly? I hope not. Did you watch Oppenheimer? Yes, I did. I liked it. I have to internalize it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I was surprised by, I don't want to do any spoilers. I'll say this, I was surprised by how surreal it was. Actually already like that this first, not the one I'm erasing right now, not that little doodle, but this first sketch for this character I was thinking about, I already like that one. It's already got something there I like. Congratulations on 100K, is it just me or is your hair different today? No, it's not different. It just changes depending on the humidity in the air. It's just, is it dry? Is it vaguely wet? is it fuzzy from humidity, but it's always the same hair. It's always the same hair. So yeah, good on everyone. Congratulations everybody on getting 100K. I'm very proud of you all. You all did great. I hope whatever your next milestone is, whether you're going for 1 million, 10 million, 10 billion, that you get to it quickly and easily. Congratulations everybody on your 100K. Enjoy all of your silver play buttons whenever YouTube decides to send it to you. $100K to rage against the machine. Yeah, I'm always good for that. Speaking of raging against the machine. Speaking of raging against the machine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me sign into ArtStation on my freaking phone. Yes, it's me. Why does this music sound so Star Wars-esque? It is not Star Wars, it is Divinity Original Sin Dos. That's just while we're here. Let's post this one. Glazed. Glazed. Ball and a start, protected by glaze. The artifacts are not very noticeable on this one. In fact, they kind of add to the psychedelic quality. First one. Share right here. I don't know what the terminology for this. I don't know what terminology we, as a community, have decided for this. It's not fun to have to do this. It's sad that we have got here. Where's the damn no AI tag? Uh-huh. No AI. Traditional dry media. Publish that. If any of y'all would be interested in liking that, sharing it, doing whatever to maybe push it in the ArtStation algo, just so that people get more aware of what we're having to do here, ridiculously, with glazing things and protecting our own artwork, it'd be appreciated. There, let's start over from scratch, right? You can see I unpublished everything that I had on ArtStation. And we're just starting over. One repost at a time, glazed images instead. Thanks for the likes, everybody. If you're concerned about the AI future, try Glaze, the first adversarial AI tool dedicated to helping artists protect their work somehow while we wait for regulatory solutions, for culture to change, for some sort of legal recourse for these systems. If you want to help spread awareness, like what I just posted, maybe push it up higher on ArtStation, make more people see it. Thanks, everybody. Wish I could just have a celebratory tone about that, but it is completely absurd that artists are in the position where we're being forced to do stuff like that. And where did I put my pen? If you're curious about Glaze, check out that link. Go look for You can get it for Mac, you can get it for Windows, and it's not openly available yet, but they are working on a web version of Glaze. So even if you don't have the fastest computer, they will be able to queue up and glaze your images over the web. Johnny Pearson gives $5. Congrats, Stephen. Was wondering if there's a best practice for erasing graphite drawings. Is it ever too much, or should we not be precious with marks? Best practice, I mean, I think it's always a good idea to not be precious. Like, you should always be willing to correct your image to get something better. The more willing you are to do that to significant areas 100 hours in, the better. In terms of best practices, I mean, generally you want to be as gentle as possible because you tend to damage the paper when you erase, but you can also get around a lot of that by like just getting really good paper. Really good paper will stand up to a significant amount of abuse. So I guess the best practice is less about how to use the eraser and more about use the best paper you can bear. On really, really good paper, expensive paper. By expensive, I mean like, you know, $2-ish a sheet, you know? So if you were gonna buy, or a little less, you know, if you buy a pad of that paper that's 15 sheets, if that pad costs between $15 and $30, that's like an expensive, high quality paper. Those papers are much sturdier. That's one of the big differences with them. And they can stand up to a significant amount of abuse. And I recommend that you take advantage of that feature. Artistic Spartan says, have you seen Brad Colbo's video why your AI art isn't selling and never will? It's very interesting. I haven't, but I feel like I know why people's AI art isn't selling. Like people can read the grift from a mile away. Once they know what AI art is, it's naturally less appealing. This just looks like a different view of the same or same-ish character. Let's see if we can actually, let's look for some different stuff we can do to the costume so it's actually a variation. Let's make the head a little bigger so it feels a little more like a kid. I like your hair today, Stephen. Thank you, Renola. The thumbnail is a gift to humanity. That was fun to make. Have you ever tried using liquid paper for highlights? It's very fun, but hard to control the stroke. For highlights, I mean, not on any like serious drawing, but I've used liquid paper to correct ink drawings every now and then. Though most of my finished ink drawings don't, just by chance, don't happen to have any whiteout on them. Anirudh with the 400 something. Stephen, in previous stream you were scolding someone to take the hard medicine and start finishing pieces. That you could be better than Kim Jong-gi in drawing but still have no career. I related so hard, couldn't stop laughing. Well, I stand by what I said. You know, it may shock some people, but I agree with myself. Truly. I agree with myself. It's true. Thank you so much for the donation. Make the thing. Make a damn thing. Don't just practice forever. That doesn't end well for most people. It really doesn't. Thank you so much, Anirudh. MT says, hey Stephen, congrats on the number. Genuinely though, finding your channel has transformed my art practice in ways you'd never know. I'm happy to help, truly. It's been a pleasure, Mel. Hello, John FX. Again, I just posted this. I took all my stuff off of ArtStation, and I'm reposting it all glazed, which is an adversarial AI tool that defends your pieces against AI mimicry. So there it is. That's my first repost that's glazed. If you are interested in spreading awareness about fighting back against AI, I put the link in the chat. Do consider giving that a like to push it out there into the world. AI. We're still in it. Still in it. We'll get through it together, folks. I've got a TV interview about AI coming up next week. That's all I can say about it. I can't, like most of this stuff, I can't talk about any specifics until after it's come out. But yeah, still doing stuff on background about AI. Trying to help. I hope soon I will be able to just talk openly about all of it. But fortunately for now, most of it has to be under wraps until stuff happens. John Ocordo says, AI, more like nay-I, indeed. Jake Ligori says, I simply don't have time for study, which has changed the nature of the finished pieces I create. I just don't draw people because I don't have the will or time to crack figure drawing. I mean, sometimes you go through busy periods in your life, but I would advise that you not frame it for yourself mentally as something so ultimate. Like, you're just too busy now. That could change. You get a different job, kids grow up, just anything in your life could change and suddenly you'll have time. And then you won't be so busy. And then you can just slide right back into doing all of that stuff. And that can happen day to day, month to month, year to year. So I don't know. I feel like the road that reveals itself, even with rather transient thoughts of like, I just don't have time to study. Like, there's very little useful down that road. Like there is an extent to which you are generating that reality for yourself by telling yourself that. Question on glaze. Does it alter the look of the image in any subtle way? Your drawing is very subtle coloring in them. Wonder if it was your marks or glaze. It's glaze. Yeah, there's that. It's a trade-off. Glaze definitely does change the image. When you use the tool, you can adjust sliders to try to balance protection versus alteration. I'll show you here in Photoshop. This is a side-by-side that I did. So on the left here is the unglazed version of the image. And on the right is the glazed version. So you can see it does add those little color artifacts. You can see subtle changes in color when I zoom way in, but it doesn't completely destroy detail. Like, there's still lots of high resolution detail in the image. And I did have the degree of protection cranked up pretty high when I did this one. I probably could have gone, maybe I could have gone lower on this one, but you know, you balance that off of how long it takes to glaze. You know, I have a Mac with an unsupported graphics card, so my glaze runs a little slower, but you know, they got the web version coming out. If the web version runs significantly quicker, I'd be more inclined to generate versions. There's also a subtle value difference here that you might be noticing, but that is not from glaze. That is because I glazed a web version of the image when I did my glaze, and this is like my original file. So that value difference is not from glaze. That's from a subtle adjustment I did before posting to the web version. Lack Aslam gives 125 somethings that I'm not familiar with. God, I love drawing. Lack, you know what it's all about. You know what it's all about. Me too, Lack. Me too. Drawing is what it's all about. That's the juice right there. William says, hey, Steven Zapata Art, is there something about ArtStation, or is it still a good place to post art? Did I miss something? I'm not going to make any hard claims about whether a place is a good or bad place to post art right now. I personally am upset with basically every art platform. So ArtStation, DeviantArt, anything like that. They have, the two I mentioned, ArtStation and DeviantArt, have both made a wishy-washy promise that they will not offer up their things for training and all the stuff that you put on there. You could put a no AI tag and all of this. As I understand it, all of that means absolutely nothing. That is pure talk from them. and they are refusing to take the stance that would be more useful, would be the stance that I wish they had taken, which is that they would say, should we find out that these companies are scraping our site, we will fight to protect your work, right? We will take your side and we will push back against these companies. Nothing of the sort, and I think that that's because they know they actually can't do anything without any kind of legal recourse or some sort of legal framework around it, or until more has been said about what kind of scraping is allowed. So I find their position very weak. I find it to not be on the sides of artists. And I also find that the protections that they have in place are actually indefensible at this point. To be clear, I think they could be more defensible with the kinds of resources these sites have, but they are not putting that on the line. So it's up to you what cost-benefit analysis you want to do there. But for me, just with everything that I know and have read and learned behind the scenes, I think my actions probably speak louder than any words. I took my stuff off, and I'm going to repost things that are glazed. I have lost a lot of energy for sharing on general social media, Instagram, ArtStation, DeviantArt. I haven't posted anything on there in a long time. I don't know how many of you follow me on Instagram or all that, but I just stopped posting. I make a lot of art. You all see me making art here, but I don't share. MDJ says legal recourse. Hey James, how you doing, buddy? Guys, I'm sorry, but I drank a lot of coffee before this. I gotta go use the bathroom. Apologies. I really gotta go real bad. I'll be right back.
Come in. Oh,
Hello, Joseph, is it?
hi, Dr. Zapata. Yes, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. What seems to be the problem, Joe?
Well, I'm having difficulty drawing from imagination.
Oh, Joseph, just so you know, that's totally normal. Why don't you tell me a little more about your problem? Is it that you can only draw from imagination if you're completely alone?
Doc, I can't ever draw from imagination.
What about if you're completely relaxed?
When I'm totally relaxed, I can't imagine a thing.
I see. Joseph, it's important to know that even with severe cases like this, there's always hope. I can prescribe an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination.
Form from imagination?
Mm-hmm. It's early days, but clinical trials are extremely promising. Why don't you try this for 6 months and then check back in with me?
Okay, I'll do whatever it takes. Did you just draw this?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Hey, Doc, do you ever have trouble drawing from imagination?
Oh no.
You wouldn't. I mean, you do this.
That's right.
Wow.
Form from Imagination is an experimental therapy and is not yet approved for use by the FDA. Do not use Form from Imagination if you are already taking any prescriptions for drawing.
All right, much better. Much better. How to get rid of migraines? Just keep watching my stream. My stream cures migraines. That's proven. That's proven. Everybody knows that. What was I saying before I got off? Yeah, my actions speak louder than my words. I took my stuff off ArtStation. I'm reposting it glazed. And I'm just like going back through my library of things, glazing my images. I don't know what the future is on any of that. I'm just kind of living in the moment with it. We all know this is a complicated time. We know that it's difficult to say, you glaze your images now. You might have to reglaze them with a new version when some new tech comes out or new versions of the AI systems come out. I don't know. Nothing's perfect, but you got to do something. You've got to do something. What are you going to do? Sit there and do nothing? Stephen, I struggle with drawing human heads. Any advice? The skull. I mean, the skull is everything on the head. My usual blanket advice. The thing is, it depends what your goals are with the head. Do you want to do portraits? Do you want to do character heads? Like, different kinds of heads require different kinds of thinking. But in general, the skull is the best basis. It teaches you the most about why the head is shaped the way it's shaped and looks the way it looks. The muscles, as someone who loves anatomy, are way less useful. The muscles are very thin on the face. They're useful if you're like a 3D artist who makes like expressions on 3D models and things like that. That they're very useful there, but for drawing, they get covered up really quickly. There's a lot of variety in like fat pads and facial breakup, so the muscles are not super useful. So what I usually say is learn the skull, don't worry so much about the muscles, and then just focus on drawing a variety of faces from different body types, different ethnicities, all this stuff, because the differences that's in the variety will make it more clear where the face sort of changes in important ways, you know. Ages especially. There's a huge amount to be learned about how the face works by drawing kids and comparing them to old people, just seeing the arc of how the face transforms with age. James says, Steve, do you think it's justifiable to chop down trees in order to make striking writers uncomfortable and disperse? And why is the answer yes? Dude, what are we doing to each other? What are we doing to each other? What are we doing to each other? Oh man, just reading that made me feel like a heavy blanket was put completely over me. I'm in a dark hole now. My energy is coursing out of me at record speed. Whew! It's just shooting right out. Yeah, I mean, it won't be long before they're pepper spraying them, I'm sure. It won't be long. Stephen, any advice on channeling the art demons to make cute kawaii art? None. I have no advice because I don't make cute kawaii art. That is a dark art of which I am unfamiliar. Good day from Australia. Good day. Good day. Good day. We got to make money, bro. You don't understand. CEOs like me are putting our backs on the line. Damn. Yeah. It's just it's like the whole art market is nothing but labor problems at this point. Dark times. Dark times for art. But we'll get through it together, right? 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 Stephen, will we get any traditional drawing in future streams? You know I draw traditionally all the time. All the damn time. I'm just not drawing digitally I'm not drawing traditionally on these recent streams because I'm just designing, not doing finished drawings. Digital, much better for designing. James says, yeah, I think it's helpful for artists to realize this is just one part of a larger labor rights issue for like 95% of the labor market. Amen, brother. It's funny how we live in a time where it's like, you got to fight to get people to even to like think it's okay to advocate for labor. Right off the bat, people are like, fuck you. How dare you care about your industry or its health? It's not going optimally, die. It's like, all right. 2023, very cool. Very, very cool. It's a very unimaginative horn, right? For something like that, I'll go reference a real beetle. Any random real beetle would probably have a much more interesting horn than that stupid curve that I drew. But I'll do that later. Later. I know beetles don't have stingers, but I might want to give it one. Thank you, James. Thank you for being here. Good to chat with you, buddy. But speaking of labor rights, Marxist Day James has to be on my director's, has to go be my director's GIMP. Ah, the irony. Is that girl going to use the beetle for riding? Beetle saddle? I'm jumping around between different things I need to design for the story right now. Not that character. I mean, could happen. Lax says, Steven, genuine question. What's your say about not being a good artist but an effective one? I would say an effective artist is a good artist. I mean, there's no such thing as being good at art in the abstract. You're only ever good within a context. So I think that sounds a lot like being effective, being able to do the things that you want to do, having clear things that you want to do. Let me look up a kind of beetle. Turns out there's billions of types of beetles. Well, that's not good. That's really not good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want a beetle with like a... I want a beetle with a high ass. Like just an ass that's like high up there. Some of these beetles got like... It's like a high-assed beetle. It's like its ass is way up there. Yeah. A real high-assed beetle. That first one is like a Hercules beetle type of a thing, typical giant beetle silhouette. Let's see if we can find something else. Tarad says, hello, Stephen. Congrats for 100K. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for contributing to 100K. And if anyone out there watching this stream right now has been listening to me for years and has watched dozens of streams and has just never subscribed, but has just relied on YouTube to constantly recommend my stuff to them, just hit that subscribe button. Just hit that subscribe button. You have no idea how desperate I am for it. You have no idea how desperate I am for it to become official. For you to become an official subscriber instead of just a faceless view. Nothing like some weird beetles to get the old brain going. Magnus Marshall says, now that you've reached 100K, you can finally pursue your real dream of making this a dance trend channel. Dude, you guys are all going to be so pissed. The day that I wipe every video on the channel and just replace it all with me dancing in front of my bedroom mirror. Y'all are going to be mad. Change the name of the channel to Steven Zapata Dance. Steven, have you played Shadow of the Colossus? I have. One of my favorite games ever. I played it on the PS2 way back in the day when I was just a little chitlin when it first came out. Hey Steven, what camera do you use for top-down videos for when you want to draw in your sketchbook? That is the... I did not say hey Siri. I said hey Steven. Shut up Siri. Yeah, I'd use the I used the Lumix GH5. Or the Panasonic GH5, depending on what. Lumix and Panasonic are the same. They're just different brand names for different areas that you might be in. So either the Panasonic or Lumix GH5. And it's not the S version, though that might be a better choice. The S, I think the S is supposed to be a better camera, but I just have the base GH5. Israel says, question for you, Stephen. Is it wrong to photobash for mood sketch another artist's work if the final product shows no trace of the work used? Well, I know people do that. It's difficult to... I hate questions like this because it puts me in a position to be a moral arbiter in the art world, and that's not who I am, and that's not what I want to be. I would ask you, if there's no trace of the original in the final product, why use it? It's like, are you just pulling colors off of it? If you're just pulling colors off of it, then it doesn't really need to be photo bashed in there at all. You could just be color picking off of their painting. And if that's functionally all that's going on, then I guess the real question you should be asking yourself is it okay to color pick off of somebody else's painting? Which, yeah, it's obviously okay. There's nothing illegal about it or anything like that. But, and no one ever needs to know. You're just shortchanging yourself on a deeper understanding of color. But, yeah, I don't know. Rest assured, there's consequences for every shortcut that you take in art. You got to do a cost-benefit analysis on all of that stuff for yourself. All right, so we got a beetle with a really high ass now. A really high ass beetle. He's just got his ass way up there. I do think I like that silhouette better than A. I do like that silhouette better than A because, I don't know, the high back always makes me think speed. It's like sports car silhouettes usually tilt everything forward and try to get the back higher to make it feel like a wedge going straight. So that kind of feels a little like that. So I do think I like that silhouette, that feeling better than A. Right now, A has a better, like, defensive quality. Like, it's a mode of transport, but it could also fight, you know, with the horn in the front. So maybe we'll split the difference there and try one that has both. Let's look at another beetle type. Hello, Pedro Assisi. Do you have a cooking course by any chance? Yes, I do. Joe says, staring at the screen, blanked out for the last 20 minutes, and I just realized what you're drawing. Awesome. Dude, that's the power of my drawings. They make people's minds go completely blank. Do you see? You see my power? Lax says, consider the thorn bug. What is that, a philosophical statement? Just, I like that on its own. Just consider the thorn bug. Nate Chavez says, hey, Steven, your drawing reminds me of the movie Starship Troopers. You know I saw that movie when I was a kid, probably a couple times, but I can't remember how I felt about it. I must have been quite ambivalent about Starship Troopers. The ending is really clear in my mind, where they stick like the needle right into the face of the queen. I always remember that. That really sticks out in my head. I hated that. I was like, oh, come on. Triple X gives $75. Triple X continues their incredible streak of big budget donations. Thank you so much, Triple X. I really appreciate it. You know, you're a sustaining member, Triple X, as you know. You're keeping a lot of people afloat in this channel. You know, the only reason I can have as many people watching right now as I can is because of your donations, Triple X. Usually when you're not around, when you haven't donated in a while, I got to turn people away at the door. I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, we don't have enough room right now to allow in more scholarship students, to allow people in for free. Triple X hasn't made a donation in a while, so we can only take people willing to pay full boat to join the stream. But then, you know, we've got our sustaining member, we've got our big benefactor. Triple X drops the big budget donation, and then we've got more budget to let people in for free. So again, everybody who's in here for free, everybody who didn't pay the cover to join the stream, just make sure to send Triple X some thanks, because Triple X is subsidizing your presence here, okay? Just be sure to send some love. Appreciate Triple X for what they're doing. And of course, Triple X, for your incredible donation. You will, of course, be receiving in the mail very soon your official Steven Zapata art plastic drinking straw with official branding on it. A beautiful fluorescent yellow plastic drinking straw. Says Steven Zapata art emblazoned across the side. You're gonna love it, Triple X. Definitely worth 75 euros. Easy, easy. Steven, you should change the name of the channel to Triple X. Well, you know, if Triple X hits that particular tier, we will have to rename either the auditorium or the swimming pool after them. It'll be the Triple X Memorial Auditorium. It'll be immemorial because Triple X will die eventually. So, you know, we don't want to have to inscribe the plaque twice. So it's immemorial right from the start. changing that silhouette to be a little bit more high-assed, like we said. It's an official design school term, a high-assed silhouette. That's what they say in the car design classes all the time. Yeah, really cool sketch of a sports car, but what if we make the silhouette a little bit more high-assed? You know? That's me if I was high-assed. If I had a more high-assed silhouette. Maybe it'd be more like... That's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. Could be. Could be. John O'Corto says, "Hey man, my mom is watching it. My mom, cover your eyes. Mom, don't look at that. Mom, look away. Mom, don't look at that high-assed Steven." Why not, honey? I mean, it's kind of interesting, don't you think, Jono? Oh, Jono, won't you take your hands away from my eyes and let me see that high-assed Steven? Stupid. Maybe it looks even crazier if it's coming out like right out the back. I like the middle set going more forward, like in B. There's something about the opposing lines of the legs on B that I like much better than the first legs that I drew. I'm trying to design rhythms in perspective for the legs. You get what I'm doing? Like, you know, this one arcs this way, imagining the center line is at the head of the beetle, and then I'm reflecting that curve, so that they sort of talk to each other, get a little bit more dynamics to them. Whoops, erased everything. Do kneaded erasers lose their usefulness after a while? Yes. When they get very dirty and full of oil, they it's not that they stop erasing, but it might as well be that. It's that they start leaving smudges when you erase, and then it's time to get a new one. It takes a while. And there's a bell curve to how useful a kneaded eraser is. So this is when you start using it. This is when you throw it in the trash. It's definitely best right here in the middle. They suck right at the beginning and then they suck at the end as well. Something like in the beginning area here, it's like it's too hard and weirdly, it's like it needs to lose some of its tack so that you can use it for a lot of the best stuff that it's useful for. So it's definitely right in the middle of the bell curve that a kneaded eraser is most useful, at least for me. Some people probably like them only brand new fresh, but I like them in the middle. Nathan Sanchez, how are you, man? Hey, Steven, it was really cool meeting you on the subway. I checked out those guns at the Met. They were very cool. Also saw a bunch of paintings too. How cool are those guns, right? So Nathan, I think, had asked in the stream like last week sometime if I had any recommendations for his first trip to the Met. And would you believe it? I bumped into him on the subway as he was going to the Met. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds? I mean, right time, right subway car, right train line, and then right subway car, and then he happened to look in the right direction and recognize me. How wild is that? How wild is that? It was nice meeting you, Nathan. It's really crazy. I'm glad you like the guns. Those are always my one of my top recommendations at the Met. They're so they weren't what you expected, right? They're way crazier than you would ever think an old gun could be. They're beautiful. They look almost sci-fi, even though they're historic guns. That is also, Nathan, that is also the first time, and I would guess likely the last time, that I was ever recognized out in public in like a non-art environment. You know, I've been recognized before in places where it makes sense. You know, it's like it's life drawing or something like that. That's happened. But just like in a non-art environment, just out in the world, that shit has never happened to me before. That was a weird experience. Karen says, except for designing a high-ass version of myself, any tips for pitching ideas for character designs, like getting the idea that starts the process? It's all about the story. You gotta, story's everything for character. You need to have a clear idea of what the character needs to accomplish in the story. Once you have that, I think that should make it much easier to come up with variations and things like this. I don't like how small this set feels. I'm gonna bring them out to here. Opposing curves, opposing curves. Really? That's crazy? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just a guy who draws silly stuff on the internet, and I'm not, you know, we're a very niche world, the art world. Yeah, I've definitely never had anybody recognize me out in public before. It was really nice meeting you, man. I hope you had fun. I hope New York treated you well. Steven, I've just returned to your stream and I see thick Steven Zapata fan art. I don't know what you're talking about. Those are designs for racers, for racing beetles. I don't know what you're talking about. Those art met guns are 15 easy, baby. They're 15 easy, dog. Dude, if you've never seen them, they are easy, dog. My college figure drawing teacher's instructor was Stephen Assail. Man, that guy's good. Yeah, Stephen Assail does some great art. He's got that good stuff. DeRomley says, a morning drawing doggos for a project and watching Mr. Zapata design girls and beetles. Perfect. Perfect indeed. To make these all about the same size so that we can do apples to apples comparison. When you're comparing designs, try to, if you make one bigger than the other, it's almost inevitable that psychologically that will make your brain sort of incline towards that one. Same way that if a viewer were looking at the page, they would tend to think that the bigger one is the one you picked. Don't forget that you have the same eyes as the viewer. So even while you make artwork, you are still being affected by it the way that the viewer is affected by it. Stephen, what was your practice like in college? Did you have a strict drawing practice schedule? I just want to implement something like that for myself. I didn't really have a schedule. I just based my life on art and did basically nothing else. And I would not recommend that for anybody. It was easy for me to justify that because my school had a really, at times, toxic culture that really glorified basically destroying your life for the sake of getting good at art. Really, it was more commercially minded than that. It was like destroying your life for the sake of getting to work in the entertainment industry, which is not good. So the culture sort of reinforced my youthful piss and vinegar energy anyway. And yeah, it got pretty bad. I mean, basically from 2018, before I was in school, basically from 2008 to 2013-ish, when I left to work, I really didn't do anything but draw. I don't know what else to say. I missed out on the world. I didn't travel. I didn't get to know where I lived. I made no new friends that I did not make at school from being exposed to them. From 2008 to 2013, I just drew day in, day out. The only things I did besides that were run to get exercise and date my girlfriend, now wife. The only times I was a regular human being was when I was courting my wife. That's it. I would not recommend that for anybody. It's not a... If I'd had my head on more straight, I could have got way better drawing less. I just burned myself out for 6 years, essentially. Maybe we can make the saddle really like high, like almost like the position you get when you're like up on a camel. You can have like a big hump on it or something. Can sort of be pulling on like that secondary horn there. All right, we're burning through. We got some glances at characters. We drew some beetles, some fast, high-assed beetles. Let me make the horn on this one bigger, make it feel more primary like A. Even though that's not quite the silhouette that Hercules beetles actually have, I just think it'll help sell the defensive capabilities a little better. All right, I got more stuff I need to design. Let's just group all of these and clear, just tuck them away. Actually, let me look at my chart real quick. Shady on Fire says, hey, Steven, congrats, dude, on the K. Glad to be able to witness this ride from your early start. Thank you so much, Shady. I appreciate it. Glad to have you here on board. Truly. Greatly appreciate it. Hello, Steven. Don't know if you saw my comment on a previous stream or already solved this problem, but there are apparently workspaces from the Clip Studio market that come with the Photoshop hotkeys. The problem with that is that my Photoshop is completely custom. All my hotkeys are changed around like crazy. So a workspace that mimics the standard Photoshop setup would not mimic my setup. Thanks for the tip, though. Maybe if there's something that I really can't customize, I could download one of those workspaces to see how they changed it, and then how they achieved editing that function, and then I can apply it to the version of Clip that I'm slowly putting together here. Engine says, taking a one-day break of art feels great, can recommend. Oh yeah, take your breaks, people. Definitely take your breaks. Joaz says, Steven, I've got to say I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that you would digitally alter your ears to make them smaller, thus teaching your viewer base of 100K people to be ashamed of their big ears. I really wish you hadn't called me out like that. I mean, I'm just... Look, I'm just a person, you know? I get insecure like anybody else. I just, it really makes me so uncomfortable how big my ears are. So I mean, come on, guys. You know everything you see on TikTok is filters, and people put all sorts of cleanup filters and all this on their Instagram photos and all that. So can you just give me this one thing? Can you just let me make my ears a little smaller? Just let me have this one. You know, it's not even that big of a change. Just if my face isn't even in most of the thumbnails. If my face has to permanently be in one of the thumbnails, can you just give me a fucking break and let me just make my ears a little smaller? It's just the slightest. It's like a 5% reduction that I do just to make me feel better. Could you give me a break? Could you give me a break? No, I don't like that. Let me look for a mood reference of the kind of character that I'm thinking of. Israel says, the more you embrace your ears, Stephen, the more sexy you become. Stephen, the more you embrace your ears, Stephen, the more sexy you become. Thank you, Israel. I don't know why you had to sing it, but I'm going to let that slide. Yo, who's pinging me right now? Who's pinging me right now? Do you play video games, Steven? Yes. Not all the time. Not 24 hours a day, but sometimes. Just looking for big silhouette shapes. I like that. Feels poofy. Karem Aldemar says, okay, Steven, now get out of your comfort zone of everything and draw short-haired, cute women. You're way off, buddy. That would be my comfort zone. Before I grew up, my sketchbooks were full of nothing but cute, short-haired girls. Joke's on you. Steven, do you plan on releasing a book in the future? I would 100% buy. I appreciate it, but I don't know. I don't know how I would. I don't know. It's like producing the content for a book and releasing a book are very different things. If you've looked into it, it's quite. It is an ordeal. It's very difficult to do on your own. And, you know, for most people, you've got to have a publisher who's going to take a huge amount of the cut. So once the publisher gets involved, you need to have a big amount of capital for it to make it worth it, so that the publisher makes their money and you make some money, or at least break even. So it's just, there's a lot of questions there. I don't know. I mean, from my research, like, there's almost no better way to guarantee you're going to lose money on a creative endeavor than to print a book. The margins are super tight. You basically can only do it when you know you will not fail. It has to be guaranteed that it will succeed. So. Thomas Sage says, do you have any published personal creative endeavors? No. If you mean like a book or something, no. There's no book of mine out that you can just get. You know, I've made a couple little things, like I've made a couple little things like these. Actually, I'm saying a couple, but this is all I have. I have a zine like this. How do I angle this towards camera? But you can't get this. I have a bunch of them. I have stock of them, but they're just, you know, you can't get them. There's no store for them. Ayub says, could you explain to us what your design course would be like? Yeah, sure. It would be very in-depth. Yeah, it would be very difficult for me to explain in words how I would do my design course, because it would be very, you know, I've written a lot of it already. I've actually done a lot of the initial creative groundwork on my design course. And it's just very different. Don't worry, that doesn't mean it doesn't actually teach design. I'm not up my own ass about it. It's just the way that it's presented. But yeah, it would be difficult to explain in words. You'll just have to wait and see. Maybe do the stream with your back to us? It was interesting. What the hell is wrong with you people? Damn. There's like a lot of dust on the tip of my stylus. Congrats on 100K, says Emma Blomskog. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Do you think that it's obligatory to do form from imagination before going into the design course? Definitely not, because my design course isn't out. If it was out, no, it would not be obligatory. It would help because just form is more foundational than design theory, but it wouldn't be obligatory. Nothing's obligatory in art, you know? I mean, you know, if you go to college, there's going to be prerequisites and stuff, but that stuff's not quote unquote real. Emma says, and may I just say, you look particularly dazzling today? Thank you, Emma. You're very sweet. You look dazzling too. We're all dazzled. That's like if I was like up on stage for this playing piano or something. I'd be like, you all look wonderful tonight. You'd all cheer. Be like, oh, thank you, Las Vegas. Obviously, it's my Vegas residency because I'm super fucking popular and an institution as an entertainer. It'd be fun to have a design in this project that's just all clothes. Extreme weather gear is great for that. You just lose the human silhouette. It's nothing but clothes. It's fun. Doflamingo says, and a huge congratulations on 100K. This is just the start. Soon the entire galaxy will bend in front of form from imagination. It will. It will. Gaze ye upon my works and despair. This Steven's ears are not as big as in the package. I want my money back. You can't have it. No refunds. What is this, a freaking dollar store? Thomas Sage says, Steven, the fact that you don't have 1 million subscribers by now is honestly why I have no hope for humanity. Dude, you sniffed out the real problem. You've clearly got the eyes of wisdom. Are you like a PhD economist at the University of Chicago or something like that? Because you read the room, you read the market perfectly. I'm floored. Have you been interviewed on like Freakonomics or something like that? I want to hear your insights, dog. You just proved yourself to be a very, very smart person. Very smart. Can you bring the little Stevens back and finish them up with some shadows and stuff? These guys? No. They're variations for a design. They can't get shadows until... Oh, wait, I gotta take my own advice. They're smaller than the other racing beetle options. Like I said, you want to make sure all of your variations are about the same size. Because psychologically, if one's bigger than the others on the design sheet, your brain will sort of lean to thinking that's the one that you're going to pick. It's just good practice to make sure everything that's in the running is about the same size on the sheet. Just think about it the way, if it wasn't your design sheet, if you were looking at somebody else's design sheet, if somebody sent you something to pick between options and one was like noticeably bigger than the others, wouldn't you think that's the one that like they had picked? Same thing, right? You have the eyes of the viewer. There you go. So now they're all A, B, C, D. They're all the same size. So it's clear that they're all sort of being put on equal footing and that any of them is a viable option to be the final design choice. All right, let me look at another photo of some cold weather gear to find a different, let's look for a variation on cold weather gear silhouettes. Here I emphasize the top, the poofy jacket. Steven, is accurate shadows better or shadows with good shape design? Shadows with good shape design. Plenty of accurate shadows look like shit. Shadows that are correct still produce tangencies, don't explain form. Always remember that raw 3D models are perfect. Everything about them is perfectly accurate. And people don't post them. They edit them. They have to change them. So accuracy on its own is not desirable. It's more important that something look good than that it be accurate. Just looking through some cold weather gear on Google here. Seeing if anything has just a different kind of silhouette, maybe like a bottom heavy silhouette instead of a top heavy silhouette. A really big backpack changes the silhouette a lot, but do you really want to always have the backpack on the character, you know? Who's that famous mountaineer from the like the golden age of exploration? Someone in chat will know him. He like famously climbed Mount Everest with like a Sherpa friend. Bell something. What was his name? Someone in chat will remember. I bet if I just type famous mountaineer, he'll come right up. Sir Edmund Hillary, that's who I'm thinking of. It did come right up when I searched famous mountaineer. It's cool. Check him out. Doesn't that look kind of like steampunk on its own? Even though that's just a real classic dude in the real gear he used to mountain climb. It's like pre-made steampunk. That's a cool photo with the old-fashioned color grade on it. That's awesome. That's a cool silhouette. It's a very svelte silhouette. Cool painting. Great face on this guy. Yeah, let me dig through this a bit. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking at over my other screen. Dang, I gotta go to the restroom again. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Now a little sip of water. Not bad weather today. It's only 78 degrees right now in New York. It's been so hot. Might have to go for a little run after this stream. Get out there. Get out there in God's good green earth. Greetings from Chile, says Alaska. What? A person named Alaska sending greetings from Chile? We're all turned around. We're all backwards. Where'd that photo go that I thought had a very svelte silhouette? Hold on, I gotta rearrange some windows here. Got too much stuff open. I find it very distracting. Steven, search for Dr. Cook if you want. Allegedly the first man to reach the North Pole for references. Allegedly. I'm looking at him. Looking at a lot of the people you guys recommended. Gabuda says greetings. Hello, Gabuda. Steven, I don't see the alleged 10% discount on your website as advertised. Please give me a swift explanation or I may be forced to resort to not purchasing your course. Just go to checkout. You've got to put it in. Oh, wait. Actually. Let me make sure I didn't leave off some of the checkout options. Give me a second. No, yeah. The coupon code entry form should be there for all of the versions. I'm going through now and making sure. Yeah, coupon code. And full version. Coupon code is there. Yeah, I just went through and checked. All 3 versions, if you go to their checkout, the coupon code entry field is there. Yeah, you just put the coupon code in the entry field and you're good to go. Let's see, what can we do for... Is this fan art to some anime? Very funny is not 42. Very funny. Oh, you're really... Oh. I'm looking at that steampunky photo of Edmund Hillary. Let's see if I can find some way to justify that. William says, are you going to have a discount next month? I am saving for the course. I believe this will be the... I think this will be the only sale until Black Friday. I wasn't planning on having any sales until Black Friday, but it made sense, you know, and everybody was asking for something for 100K, so... Triple X with another 25 euros. Dude, Triple X steadily moving towards having the pool renamed, turning it into the Triple X Memorial Pool, or the Triple X Auditorium, Memorial Auditorium. Get in there, Triple X. Gonna be a legacy member very soon. Just incredible. Thank you so much, Triple X. At this rate, we'll have to name a whole wing after you. X gonna give it to you. The man, the myth, the legend himself again. Do you have any specific ways you come up with character design? No specific ways. The way that I do it on stream is my method. It's mostly based on... It's not about trying to rely on... It's not about trying to rely on some set process that's going to save you, or 2D stuff that's just like about shapes or something like this. It's just the story and research. That's it. That's how I design things. Those things are the only 2 things you can truly fall back on for any design problem. Everything else is you kind of trying to fit the problem to your predilections, and that's not necessarily the best way to do things. You can do that when it's a personal project, but just, you know, I've spent most of my life doing commercial work, and that beats that out of you pretty quick, you know. When you're working for other people, when you're doing commercial jobs, you can use your personal pizzazz as much as you want, but then you deliver the drawings and the people who paid for them are like, well, why does it look that way? You're like, because those are my favorite shapes. And they're like, right. That's just, those shapes don't make any sense with this design. And you're like, oh. Just like, it's always the story, what's the actual product, and do your research. Thomas Sage gives $2. Thank you so much, Thomas Sage. You're really displaying your sage wisdom. You know where to invest your money. You know that the Steven Zapata art stream is always a good place to put your money. I mean, you know, don't quote me on this, but putting your money here is basically the same as putting your money into a kid's retirement fund. It's like you are investing not just in your future, but the future of generations to come. You know, we've all seen the intro. We all know that my stream very soon becomes the #1 cultural touchstone for the entirety of humanity. So if you've got money in this stream, it's only going to pay dividends many thousand times over. Very soon, your money is going to become the absolute bedrock of everything that culture is based on. So safe, safe, safe place to put your money. Very safe. As demonstrated by Thomas Sage. Thomas knows. He's not messing around. Yeah, I love this silhouette and the accidental steampunky look, but I just don't think this fits with the technological level of our story. But it may just be me who feels that way. That might not necessarily be the case. Again, keep them about the same size. Just get some of those stray marks out of here. Taking up too much space. Cursed Fetus says, what are your thoughts on AI ghosts singing like Michael Jackson? Don't ever forget that Thriller might be the best song ever, and its genre is spooky Halloween shit. So that means that one of the most successful genres in the world is spooky Halloween stuff. So don't tell me that mainstream is all cute and pop and all this. No. Look at the evidence. Spooky Halloween stuff can absolutely go mainstream. Nope. Wrong layer. All right, just get rid of that. I don't need that. I'm going to do a couple more versions of this guy, and then we're probably going to call it for the day because I'm getting very hungry. The hunger is building up. And maybe I can catch some good mild weather for a run. Viva la spooky Halloween gang, says Cursed Fetus. I come here for the top-notch music industry analysis. Yep, that's why everybody's here. World-class singing, world-class music analysis. Jehovah's Thickness says, why does existence exist? Jehovah's Thickness. Jehovah's Thickness. You can't make this shit up. What are you talking about? I just did. Steven, you're following Chromacore? If so, who's your favorite cadet so far? I am not following Chromacore. There is so, it's hard to keep up with. There's so many entries. I did look through, I looked through the past like 4 days of entries. Yesterday or the day before. I skimmed through them pretty quick. I wouldn't say I have like a standout favorite yet. Generally, the level in Chromacore is extremely high. People make great work. Israel says, steampunk with snow? What if they had tubes warming their bodies running across the suit? Don't say good ideas like that on stream or anywhere in public. Because now I have to steal your idea. And you're going to come after. You're going to be like, you got that idea from me. I could prove that I said it in his stream before he copyrighted the thing. And I have to sue you in court. And we can never be friends because we've got the big meatball of this court case hanging out between us. And if I don't do it, certainly someone in this stream, someone who isn't me, is going to do it. So it's just like, keep your good ideas to yourself, all right? You put us in complicated copyright issues every time you throw out a good idea like that. Come on, man, have some self-respect. Aren't your ideas worth something? You can just hold on to it? You're just going to fling them out there for free like that? Dude, absolutely nailed that face, dog. Easiest shit in the world, and while doing a bit, too. My God, I am the fucking best. I am the fucking best, dude. such a virtuous cycle, son. I'm always so eager to get back to drawing because it's just like 3 hours of drawing, 3 hours of reminding myself that I am the best. I am the best. It's like, of course I'm going to keep doing it. I like his squat proportions. Steven, did you transfer photo PH shortcuts to CSP? I'm going to assume you mean Photoshop. I have been manually doing them as problems come up. When I went to look in the shortcuts menu in Clip, I didn't see any options to import shortcuts or anything like that, so...
Oh, that I got stretched. Oh, yeah.
Dude. I want to wrap up this sketch and maybe do another one. But I'm getting like, I rarely get like noticeably like, noticeably like hurt and hungry. I'm like feeling it right now. Did I skip breakfast? I think I did. I think that's why I'm so hungry. Crap. That was a mistake. I got distracted setting up like the coupon codes and stuff. I think I forgot to eat breakfast. Crap. Stupid. Yasin Ben says, Steven, siempre dices que dibujar es muy divertido y no puedes parar. ¿Es eso verdad o es alguna técnica para forzarte a dibujar? Mi experiencia dibujando es llena de frustración. ¿Algún consejo? I'm not kidding. I'm being completely sincere, and it is not a teacher's gambit. I can see how it can seem like a teacher's gambit, like, oh, he's just saying this so that people will draw more and all of this. But it's not. I really mean it. I love drawing. I really do love drawing. It would work as a teacher's gambit. It would be enough. It would be enough of a lie to keep up just because it would improve people's lives. But I'm lucky enough to say that it's not a lie. It happens to be useful and the truth for me. I love drawing. Nothing makes me happier. It's my favorite thing to be doing. You know, I'm never more excited than like when I know what I want to draw and I'm sitting down to the drawing table and I just know I have an unbroken few hours to do it. It's just, I couldn't, look at how many videos are on this channel. Look at how many streams are on this channel where I'm drawing live with people talking to people the whole time. Like, I could not do that and like do a show while I do it and all this. I think it would be impossible if it wasn't genuinely fun. I mean, if I was faking it, you'd be able to tell, you know? I think the energy would be off. I'm not sure anyone would be in here. I genuinely, for real, sincerely love it. I love it more than anything. And I think drawing is such a beautiful thing, and that it's worth it for absolutely anybody to do it and to be creative. And I think it teaches you a lot about yourself and life. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I don't have enough good things to say, or I have too many good things to say about drawing. Yo, Steven, when you getting a haircut? Probably not a significant one, but I will probably need to get a trim at some point this week because I got a TV interview about AI next week, so I'll probably want to get a cut before then, just to clean up. All right, let's see if we can get another variation out before hunger drives me to the kitchen. What are you eating for lunch? I do not know. I do not know. I'd like to believe that he didn't understand anything and he's just saying stuff right now. That would have been funnier. That would have been funny. I've been drawing daily for the last few weeks and it becomes more addictive the more I do it. Quality noticeably improves the more I do it consistently. Hell yeah. I mean, that's why you keep coming back. Once you balance the mind out, once you've got your motivations right, it really becomes a virtuous cycle where you just want to keep coming back, you know? Lego says, Steven, no sabía que hablabas español. Y yo aquí hablando inglés. Ha ha ha. Igual tengo que practicar inglés. All right, well, you can practice English when you write to me. I can practice my Spanish when I read Spanish messages. Yeah, bear with me, Spanish speakers. My Spanish is not great, but if you find it easier to write in Spanish, I'm happy to read Spanish messages. I will answer in English because it's the only way I could truly answer, but also because so that the rest of stream knows what the hell I'm talking about. TV interview? When are you going on Conan? No, nothing like that. Like a news thing. You know, it's not, you're not gonna... Man, it'd be amazing if we could get our problems out there on something like Conan, but we'll have to see about that. It's nothing big like that. Trying to keep it secret must make it sound like it's some huge thing. It's not like that. You just can't talk about stuff like this before it comes out. Or it's bad form to do so. It's not like I've signed anything, but just I know from working on stuff that if you don't know if you can, don't do it. It's bad form to talk about stuff that hasn't happened yet and blow up people's spots and all this. But it's nothing big like that. I mean, it's good, you know, it's just, you know, like the other stuff that I've done. I'm just, you know, trying to get the word out there and spread awareness. But It's not anything huge like that. Jack Foster says, Steven, would you consider getting a highly steezy flat top for your television appearance? For humor, I would definitely consider it. But my hair is so unruly curly that you couldn't get a clean line on it for more than an hour, I bet. By the next day, it would have lost its shape. My hair grows really fast and it chops up immediately. I need to look for some other kind of cold weather headgear that isn't like just the simple hat or hood. Let me search cold weather gear again. Cold weather headgear. Wow, look at this thing. Damn, does anyone wear anything like this? Look at that thing. That's crazy. I mean, that fully encloses your whole face. That thing's pretty wild. Something like that could be cool. I wonder what it looks like open. Kaike says, is there such a thing as good enough to be a professional? And if so, how do we figure out when we're there? No, it's just, you know, it's when is someone willing to hire you? You know, that moment can come at different skill levels for different people because it depends on the person who's hiring you, you know? One person might have a higher bar for their project than another person. Like, the label of professional in art is very flimsy and pretty unimportant. You know, so no, there's no set level. It's just whenever you start getting work. And it depends on your subjective interpretation of professional as well. Like, different people in the chat, for example, would say different things. Are you a professional when you can get any commissions? Are you a professional if you can get commissions over a certain amount? Or are you a professional only when your whole income is from art? It's like, it's all up in the air. It depends on what a person thinks from person to person. How does the 90-10% rule work? Is that not enough studying, or do dedicated studies for projects fall into the 90%? Well, I'm not going to call the 90-10 thing a rule. If you remember from when I said that, what I usually recommend is doing 50-50 for most people, 50% your own creative stuff, 50% studying. 90-10 I think would be better, but I don't recommend it for most people off the bat because most people can't handle it at the beginning. They just feel too uncomfortable. They don't have the mental constructs to spend that much time looking at their creative output not looking the way they wish it did, right? So don't lie to yourself and push through that like just to follow an arbitrary rule or to do what Steven said or something like that. I would say start with 50-50, see how comfortable you get. But yeah, it's not complicated. The rule doesn't work in some complicated way. It's literally just, I think you should spend 90% of your time attempting the kinds of pictures that you dream of attempting. and only 10% of your time doing abstract studying. For me personally, at this point, my breakup is like 95-5 or something like that. I spend very little time doing dedicated study, but I still improve. And I would improve much less from abstract studying than I would from continuing to attempt projects, doing the kind of stuff that you see me doing here, going for the real deal. Do dedicated studies for projects fall into the 90%? Yeah, as long as it's really direct, as long as you're not tricking yourself. Like it doesn't, let's say you've got a bad arm in a picture that you're attempting, and then you overreact to the arm looking off. So then you go off and watch a bunch of foundational anatomy videos about the bones of the arm, muscles of the arm. That foundational aspect is getting pretty far away from what just the project needs in that moment, right? All the project probably needs to fix that arm is for you to find a reference that fits that arm well, or to take a photo of your own arm or something like that. And then looking at the reference and breaking down the anatomical problem in that particular view, right? Like, what's confusing you? Is it that you didn't understand how brachioradialis takes this turn when the elbow's bent or something like that? Like, the anatomy problem can be solved in situ. It doesn't require you to go back to the base shape of the humerus, right? And it takes a lot for me to say something like that because I'm someone who loves anatomy, and I do think that base anatomy is worth pursuing, but there's definitely a huge distance there between what is applicable for basic anatomy knowledge and just what the project needs, just what the actual picture needs. Walt T says, course has just been gotten. You get the course, dude. You get the course. That's what it's all about. All that matters is life. All that matters in life is you get the course. That's all that matters in life. All right. Thanks for the help, everybody. Thanks for spreading awareness. Trending on ArtStation. There we are. Glazed ball and a start. I appreciate you all helping to spread awareness. I mean, you're also sharing my art around, but everyone's already seen this one. This is a repost. It's glazed. It's protected from AI. It's got a link to Glaze. Please check out Glaze, people. And if anyone wants to continue to help spread awareness and get more glazed artwork out there, push back, a form of protest, we'll see what happens. We'll see how this works. More than anything, what is this? This is an act of protest. The fact that I had to take everything off of my gallery, you can see here, I unpublished everything and I'm reposting glazed images. It's an act of protest, first and foremost. Like. Thank you, everybody. Harunu says, any advice on how to find your first commissions if you don't have any internet following? Should I try to get more followers first? You don't necessarily need a lot of followers if you have a specific audience. So let's say you know that you want your first commissions to be drawing people's D&D characters for them. Just make a few samples and post in the Dungeons and Dragons subreddit or something like that, right? Like, go to the audience and basically post an ad about yourself, right? You need to not be spammy. You've got to have some emotional intelligence. You got to be cool about it, right? But in those environments where the people who would be commissioning you congregate, there's going to be some amount of them who are generally interested. So you don't, in that capacity, you don't need a bunch of followers. You just need good samples. So if you're just starting out, that's usually what I recommend for people. Have a focused audience that you're going for, and you go to the audience. Don't wait for them to come to you. But the hard part there for a lot of people is that they don't know what audience they want to have. So choosing that first is often the first hurdle. Lack Aslam says, so if I dumb it down, draw things to learn how to draw things, am I getting this right, Stephen? Basically, that sounds like a pretty good dumbed down way. William says, I'm trying to, at the moment, to do complete drawings. I have trouble doing one piece at a time. I know it can be hard, but push through. It helps build your patience a lot. It's very, very important. And you want the autobiographical fact in your memory that great things are on the other side of a long drawing. That will motivate you to be more patient as the years go on. With all the demoralizing crap like AI, it's hard not to feel like the 90-10 rule isn't the best fit to keep the practice alive these days. Not the best fit? AI puts together cogent pictures that we would say sort of help shortcut a lot of the skills-based stuff. So I tend to disagree. I mean, the 90-10 rule keeps you focusing on the things about creativity that you personally love and your big picture projects. So yeah, I have to disagree with you there, JB. I would say investing more of your time into the product, the big thing for you, I would say that's the way to keep the practice alive these days. Because, the more demoralizing thing I would think for most people who are starting out would be, well, I just spent a month practicing hands in abstract, and then the announcement that AI does perfect hands now. Wouldn't that be more demotivating? There's, on the other hand, if you've been working on, a board game or something like that no one knows about, no AI is going to accidentally make your board game, with no one having prompted towards it or anything like that. You'll always be able to hold that close, Maybe I'm not thinking about it the way you are. Any tips for someone who wants to become better at drawing architecture and environmental concept art? It's a very vast field, so no easy tips. What helped me was spending a lot of time drawing to human scale, like always making sure there was people in the drawing so that it sort of grounded it and made it feel like important, that it was like, are the doorknobs the right height? Does it feel like a person could scale this? Does it feel like it would be imposing over their head or something like that? Human scale does a lot. A lot of people starting out with environments do epic, like abstract epic environments that are just not grounded, spiky mountains, decrepit labs with nobody in them and stuff like this. And they wind up very generic and unrelatable because usually there has never been a consideration for what would it be like to be here. And it's like the mind reads that stuff. It implicitly reads that into a picture. So if you have an abstract epic landscape that is just spiky mountains, But then when you put a person in it, it's clear that there's nothing interesting for this person to do. There's spiky mountains way over there, but for the person in the midground, there's really not much to do but sit in the grass. Your brain implicitly knows that, and it makes the picture seem, yeah, like I said, unrelatable and uninteresting. So work to human scale for a while, and I think that for a lot of people helps them get a much more intuitive grasp for making interesting environments. Lack Aslam says, Stephen, can you draw a goblin on a cloud of silver haze where he wants to take you higher? On a silver haze. Into the tunnel of you. I'm coming back like a hurricane. I'm gonna take you higher. On a cloud, on a silver haze. I wanna take you higher. Ooh, 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 burn down. I'm doing that full wraparound Arctic gear that I showed you guys from eBay. I'm sure that's like a classic kind of thing, so I'm gonna, at some point later, maybe I'll look for a historical version of this thing. I don't know what these are called. I need to improve my Google Fu for these. Orgo says, hey guys, hey Steve, congrats for the 100K. Do you have some art-related podcasts and channels to recommend? You know, there's not that many art podcasts anymore, ever. I don't have any to recommend. The best one I've ever heard is A to Z, but they really only had one episode. It was just like super, super interesting, like super life-changing episode. But yeah, I mean, there's just the one, so. Sketchy Van, oh yeah, Christian's art podcast. I guess I didn't think of that because that's a video series. He's probably got it out there in podcast form, but I can't confirm. There was the Draftsman podcast from Proco, but they ended it. There's like probably 30 or so episodes. Maybe there was more than that. How long was Draftsman running? I just love these chunky silhouettes. I wasn't even really paying attention while I did this one. It still looks cool. I just love I love the chunk. So few negative shapes, you know, nothing in between arms and body and all this. It's fun. All right, everybody, let's start wrapping up here because I am very hungry. Want to go eat something. So we got our winter gear character. That's all I'll say about him for now. Got some variations on him. We looked at a kid that I need, and we looked at some variations for racing beetle. Good design session here, folks. Good design session here, folks. And again, thank you everybody for 100K. If you've got any last minute questions, I'm here for it. As we slowly say goodbye here. JB says, bye, Stephen. Congrats and thanks for the stream. Happy drawing, everybody. Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for contributing to 100K subscribers. It really means a lot to me. And glad to have you all here as always. Gracias, Stephen. Siempre es agradable, is that how you say? Agradable estar aquí. Felicidades por los 100K. Thank you, Yasin Benz. Joxima says, how to become better than you? Friend, if I had the answer to that, damn. If I had the answer for how to get better than me, dude, I'd sell it for 60K a pop, man. I mean, it's just not, it's not in the cards, dog. It's not possible. It's not possible. I mean, I'm sitting here on 100,000 pieces of evidence that I'm a total freak, man. I mean, just freakish talent, freakish dedication, freakish intelligence level for art, not for other things, not for common sense or math, just freakish art intelligence. And the worst part is it's fun and easy for me the whole time. You know, that's really the difference between you and me. That's why you're never going to get here, because you have to like struggle for it, you know? And it's just like, it's pure fun for me the whole time. It's like, I've been live for 3 hours and 15 minutes doing bits and drawing well at the same time while doing the bits, while running a TV show. And I don't even feel tired. The opposite, I feel recharged. I have more energy now than when I started the stream. I just said, I'm gonna go for a run. And when I say a run, I might do a 10K or a half marathon right now. So, I mean, yeah, if that sounds like a level you could hit, come and get me, I guess. But, you know, just so that you understand what's actually on the table here, it's very unlikely that you could do what I do even for a week. So, yeah, you know, just want to set you on the right path of not even trying it. You can't run up on me. Maybe pick something else to spend your time on, find your own little path or something like that. But yeah, if your goal is going to be to try to be as good as me, that's a waste of your time. That's a waste of your time. You don't want to do that. It's 15 easy, dog. It's 15 easy, dog. Lego says, Steven, how do you balance your work life with your personal life, like drawing, streaming, cooking, cleaning, and stuff? Congratulations, by the way. Every morning I make a little to-do list with, like on my phone. Let me see if I can show my to-do list. I actually didn't make it this morning, but so every morning on my phone, you know, if you have an iPhone, you have these, wait. Yeah, we're all good here. I make a to-do list every morning and I just go down it. And I just try not to think about it or sweat it. I just try to click every box on the to-do list. And I use this one file you can see. I just do this for every day of my life. Those are all the gaps in between the groups, are those indicate days. So I don't know. For some people, to-do lists don't do it, but that's how I do it. Just every day of my life, As you can see, it's a very long document, and I have done many, many things. And that goes back, I usually restart it every year or something like that. But yeah, that's what I do. It's not really like a way to balance life. It's just like I pick what's the priorities for that day, and I just check, you know? Nothing personal, kid, says Soko. Yeah, strong sonic energy coming off of me. That meme is Sonic, right? Jack Foster says, Stephen, did the writing associated with the World Tree project ever get finished? No. I wrote a bunch of it. That's still one of my favorite unfinished projects, and I am sure I will return to it at some point. That one has been with me for a long time. Run into the Hudson and cool down. Stephen, what's life like in New York for an artist? It's not the easiest because you need to be making some money because New York's just an expensive city. So a lot of people don't want that tied up with the art side of their life. So if you're that type, then New York's not good for it. If you can make some money with your art, then it's great because it's a very active city and it has a big art scene. A lot of people, myself included, I would say, are not the kind of people who are going to take advantage of that art scene, but my friends who do, they seem to like it a lot, you know? Dude, you are still live. What a beast. Well, I'm about to sign off. I'm very hungry. But I do want to do a protracted goodbye as thank you for 100K. Don't forget to check out the little thing I got in the bottom left over here. I can make it bigger. 10% off any version of Form from Imagination from today for a week until next Wednesday in celebration of 100K. Use the code 100K at checkout and you will get the 10% off. And I appreciate the people who have already picked it up in this stream. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the course. Lego says, thank you, Stephen. I'll try to copy you. Next time I'll become your doppelganger. Nice. Nice. Stephen, did you finish the inks on the Knights vs. Robot art? I did not finish them. I might do them again on a stream, but I'm actually saving that one to do most of it live at some events that we have coming up, AI advocacy events. So I'm trying not to. I'm just not working on it. You know, I want to. It's nice to have one that I just know I can. You know, I don't have to. Every time I do one of these events, I don't have to be like, oh, what am I going to draw this time? I just know I've got this big one that's what I'll work on at the event. I won't finish it at that one. It'll bleed over into the next one. So I got it in the folio back there, waiting to get worked on at the next one. But I might work on it on streams a bit more. But it really struck me that it makes sense to just sort of work on it in these AI advocacy situations. You know, it's thematically relevant. You know, it's an ink drawing, so it's easy to do live. You can actually see what I'm doing. It's big so that a bunch of people can see it. It's not a little drawing that people need to go over my shoulder. Will you ever do videos that are just journal excerpts again? You mean like the World Tree video? Just reading random writings? I could. I don't know. It's just not necessarily what people are looking for from me. But I have stuff more in that vein on the Patreon. You know, Patreon would probably be where I would put that if the mood struck me to do stuff like that again. Stephen, what is your story for? This project is just a fun thing that I'm doing with my friend Joe. I just wanted to do a project with him. Jack Foster says, I just watched the 3 reading drawing meditation and thought it was wonderful stuff. Thank you. I liked all 3 things that were in that one. I think it was 3 readings, right? Oh yeah, 3. Yeah. I just read it. Yeah, I liked all 3 of those. Those are all right. I like writing. I like writing a lot. You know, I draw more than I write, but I do enjoy writing. 100K looks kind of like, look, that actually works. That's funny. Any traditional art streams? I do traditional all the time. It is inevitable there will be more traditional art streams. All right, everybody. I think we got through most of the last hanger-ons questions. I want to say goodbye to everyone again. Thank you for being here. Thanks, as always, for sticking around while I get some designing done. Hope you all learned something. Maybe you got a laugh out of something. Whatever you got out of it, just forgive me. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You know, I know I'm not the coolest guy ever. Sometimes I'm a bit abrasive. Sometimes I get loud. I blow out people's speakers. I don't mean to bring that kind of chaotic energy into your life. You know, I try to be mindful, but sometimes it lapses and I slip into my old habits. So just forgive me. All right. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. I really am. Maybe for the next 100K, I can be better, you know, more monotone, a little quieter, more boring. You know, if that's what you want, maybe I could be that for you. You know, maybe I'll be a completely different person from here to 200K. And then from 200K to 300K, I could be a new person yet again. Maybe, you know, I'll go get an art history PhD or something like that. And then I can be a insufferably pretentious jackoff. And would you like me better then? I'll do whatever you want. I'm a YouTuber. I live for your approval. So please, just forgive me. Please. Goodbye to Saman Kucher. Goodbye to Mathurbun. Goodbye to Tom Sabatello. Goodbye to Boxer Wing 1970. Goodbye to S. Zafel. Goodbye, Beatriz. Goodbye, Pedro Assisi. Goodbye, Duvier. Goodbye, Andre Viana Machado. Goodbye, LS Demon, Soko, Leosaurus Rex, Sploige, Jim Wolak, Asylum, Jack Foster, Legost, Joximus, Saman Kucher, Carl Frank, and everybody else who has been here for the stream. I appreciate you all, and I will see you soon. Actually, my schedule switched around a little bit this week, so I will probably stream again tomorrow. I usually can't stream on Thursdays and Fridays, and this week I actually think I could. So I will probably see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Take care.